you, Tara, and good morning, everybody. And it is nice to have a Saturday morning this session. Every time, whenever I take the webinar, I always feel that it is always a pleasure because you have taken a first step to an awareness. And throughout last 30 years of my working, I always feel even one person has been able to start thinking across that you will have a great wealth, and always you will be remembering that okay, that was a starting point. This topic came to me very recently because suddenly I found few customers and the clients started coming to me and saying that why don't we have whatever PMS or any PMS to make sure that this is taken care for my this needs. And that's reminds me why not we will be able to make sure that other person has been able to achieve the dream. So this reminds me going back to my of course time when I was in the US, when I was in UK. Then again, last month itself, the SEBI has done this. So I was just thinking, if you start thinking loud and feel that whenever we used to see the all the advertisement, you must have seen one thing was very common, that emotions was always attached. And that made us a very clear thing ki, okay, if I do this my kids education will be taken care. If I do this, I'll be able to buy the house. If I do this, I'll be able to get a better retirement, or whatever the dreams. If you wanted kids to become a pilot or an engineer or a doctor, that must have come to yourself. So why don't we feel the same emotion should come for equity driven any of the requirements? So we were having a recently behavior training, and that reminds me very clearly. So if you have like how we have a EPF, PPF, NPS kind of is very clear in our mind that even it is giving 8%, 9% of what may be the returns, we will be keeping it for 15 years or till we are 55. The same thing happening on the, let us say, any insurance. When we are taking an insurance, okay, this is taking care of my pension, this is taking care of my kids education. So we are by mind very clear, this product I'm keeping it for 5 years or 10 years or what may be the reason for any particular goal. The same thing came in the mutual funds, which is only two funds which used to have it. And I love those two funds because from the day one our kids born, I started doing SIP in those funds, which is called HDFC Gift Fund. There was only two kids funds and the one retirement funds, where you will see that if you keep investing in that, when the kid is 18 you will be able to get it across. And that gave the phenomenal returns, even though it is in a hybrid funds, because of the lock-in. So why ELSs do the same thing? So last month itself, SEBI has started coming with a new rule saying that we wanted to follow the, it's called lifestyle funds, which is 5 years lock-in, 10 years lock-in, 15 years lock-in. When the market is so low, even our work as an advisor is to just take care of your goals and take care of your fear and greed. I'm sure you must have heard about last 2 days back itself. The I was in a Mumbai, but coincidentally that news came also that person who was a Mumbai, I think so, doctor who was 75 years old, and he was duped for 12 crore. And because somebody have given him the saying that you can double the money in 12 days, and he has transferred 12 crore. So I was just thinking, at the age of 75, he still wanted to double the money in 12 days. Sometimes concepts are not clear. Is it our greed is too high or our goals? Because I'm sure even if it's the best of luxury, he must have not finished 12 crores itself. So these are the points which I'm trying to bring it across of how you make. This is my personal belief. I've been doing SIP for 30 years. My I think so, doing 25 or more than 25% returns, what you call my net investment per month. And I can bet you, because it's very easy to tell in Excel how the power of compounding works, what it works. But I keep asking people, it's a behavior part of it. Do you have any fund which is with you for 20 years? Do you have any SIP which is working more than 30 years? Are you having? Because we are very, very involved in, okay, this is not performing fund, I will quit and we'll exit and we'll do this. We are looking across a noise. So, how to reduce noise and make it a goal based? Because all of us, most of us, are talking about our family should be happy, our family goals should be happy, and that's where this point came into picture. Because people says, Rachna, I am a business person, or I have just quit. So the reason it came it, one person says, I got a baby and I wanted to fix the money, and that will take care of the wedding and the education. Another person says that I got it just now, the full my PF, I'm doing early retirement at 45, and this amount should keep it and it should start giving me regular income. Another person came and told me, Rachna, this is for my next generation wealth. I wanted to pass it on, the rest I will use it. So these are the questions, ma'am, and I thought let me take this point and try to share with you. It may works, and that's where it is. Why suddenly people started saying that, okay, we should have a PMS, or let us say AIF, or whatever alternative funds. So I personally feel, whatever said and done, the concept is, whatever you are taking, take care of post tax, post inflation greater than zero. So something you should take care of today's eating, something is talking about tomorrow's growth. So always try to see, if you are in equity means stocks, or to mutual fund, PMS, AIF, whichever is a stock market returns, divide into the some part of it. I always say SIP goes in a mutual fund. Make sure your whatever is the money, you divide into two or three parts of it. But why this is doing good? The reason we need to understand, it is growing much, much more faster. Now, personally says that's not 50 lakhs is very huge money. I fully agree with that. But most of the people who wants a one lump sum money to give and use that part of it, it works. But you will surprised to know now that nowadays a crore is a normal lakhs, I always feel. And I said, how people so fluently speak crore, and my heart gets skipped. But yes, that's the way it is. So a lot of people have been having a ESOP exit, getting across money from the real estate or something, and they wanted to put one side and just grow across. Of course, no doubt about it, nobody can beat about how the Indian growth is. There is no second thought, because there is no rocket science of saying that key our average age is only 27, 28. So without fail, we will be growing, because any other economy, their age is only it's 50 plus. So that's a better part of it. So any 25 years or 27 years old person is going to come. I don't know what may be the job they will get, but they will do some job. And I always tease people. I said, Kuch nahi. So I keep teasing people. They're saying that, okay, even if I became a delivery person also, which in a day, everybody's house, 3 or 4 hours time is coming, you will earn 30,000 or 25,000. What they will do? They will either invest or they will spend. Most of the time, they may spend. So when they're spending, that economy grows, because those companies are going to grow across, and that's where there's no second doubt that Indian overall growth is amazing for next 20, 25 years. Why people started going for alternative, the reason was, if you notice, maybe last 5 years, 6 years, that these alternatives started growing very high only from COVID time, because SIP started increasing. What is DII? DII is mostly domestic investors, institutional investors, where through SIPs or pension plan or insurances are coming. And now the second tier, third tier, people have started doing, and mutual fund is a normal norm. You don't have to even explain what is mutual fund. People started doing so much, because now the companies are only that much. The IPOs are not coming so much. So what is happening, that market is a zero sum game. Somebody is selling and somebody is buying. If so many people are buying and people are not selling, you are not able to match the equation. And that is the one of the reason that mutual fund now, on an average, even they wanted to buy some stocks more, they are not able to buy, because their sum has come 50,000 crores, 1 lakh crores of their portfolio. And then it is going to 150, 180 stocks in a single stocks. And that is why it's becoming too diversified. And that was maybe the one of the reason where people started saying, okay, let me go back to the PMS or AIF, where people will be able to bet, concentrated bet, and then they'll be able to deliver. You have to notice, most of the time it's a similar returns. Some market they do better, some mark not, but on an average, they always says PMS gave 1 or 2% higher than the mutual fund, and AIF gave 1 or 2% higher than the PMS. That's the way normally, if you see on the longer term perspective. Of course, as I explained you how the things has been growing much better because it is a single view, top view, and all the stuff. So people start doing. Even though I never feel the PMS or any product you should take as a product. So anybody comes to me even for a lakh investment, I says I don't want it to give you the product. Why? Product is a byproduct of your goals. You should always make sure that this investment is for what goal. If you don't have that, then it is a different ball game itself. So then you will talk about appreciation, they will talk about the next generation succession and other things. So when you're giving across, why don't you take a higher growth? So that's the one thing you have to make sure that any investment, irrespective of money, you have to make sure that this is for what goals, how the diversification it is going. So you can see that how slowly, I was just telling you from 2020 how it is increased over the period, and that is where the mutual fund is little going lower and lower, and these alternative funds have started going because people started feeling, when we talk about a family office in our office, we have that services where people come between 100 crore and above. So they say that it's easy for me, the transparency, what are the stocks you have any time or time, how you calculate the fee structure, what is the risk you are taking care of me. So that more part of it, and you can of course as you go higher you can change the fee structure also. So that is one of the reasons slowly the bigger player is moving across into the alternatives. Long term performance is always, I feel it is little higher. As I told, it's not that if you see last 2 years it may not be good because more diversification has done good on the large cap. Most of the time PMS people look for only for the alpha, but I always says nowadays there are PMS, AIF or any other global funds. Start looking what is going to help you into which goal. That is very very important part of it. So, what people are looking for? So, you have to start thinking what is the service is offering? What are the risks I'm looking for? Fee is the better transparency, and performance is the anyway. Like, if, for example, if I wanted to know, let me give you a simple example. When there was Hindenburg report came and Adani's stocks went so much up down, but even ETFs which were doing because Adani was there and SBI have to continue the ETF, whichever is a pension fund. It took 3 months for them to remove from a what you call benchmark. By the time that is already gone. So you have, so normally the data comes on mutual fund, what are the stocks and all only after 1 month. So it's sometimes somebody says why in India people are not doing ETF more. As on today, people are slowly started moving to ETF, but in India, as of today, active funds normally pay little bit higher than the, I mean the return wise than ETFs. That's the reason. But across the globes, because of the fund management charges and ETFs are very settled benchmark, so that's why people are been paying buying quite a lot of an ETF also. So, what are the different channels of wealth creation should do? So, we have to create what is a defined wealth creation. So, I can tell you from my personal experience, meeting a people of 3,000 crore versus a 3 lakhs person, the way people perceive wealth is very different. And to me, wealth is, of course, I've lost my parents, and recently I was thinking, what is the use of so much of money? Nobody can take anything. As long as you're happy, you are very content, and you are able to achieve your financial goal, is more happiness. According to me, it is not that, okay, my benchmark I'm meeting or not. I always says when we are going for any, let us say, train to take it to Delhi, you take a ticket till Delhi. You don't after Delhi getting down, you think, oh, why I didn't go because the train is going to Jammu. Because your station was only Delhi. The same thing here. Your goals are how to make sure your kids' educations are taken care. Your vacations is becoming a next priority nowadays. A lot of people started saying, hey, I want a 10 lakhs yearly for a vacation. I want a 2 to 3 lakhs a monthly expense. How you are able to achieve with your lifestyle, peace of mind, and happiness, that is what you have to decide when you are looking in a wealth creation. It's not to how I have to beat my neighbor. Recently, somebody came and told me, Rachna, you're not giving me the new funds because that is the best way to show in my group that I have always a new funds. And I said, why you have to show that you are always doing a good with a new fund? Because new fund doesn't have the even the it can be Bitcoin or it can be SIF or it can be because I said they have to show how they good they are doing. So be clear what is your wealth creation goal, what you are looking for. Most of the time equity is doing good, but in our mindset if I say 14% returns average, and then they'll say no, I have not got it. So it's not necessary you get a 14 every time. You must have got one year around 30 35, next year you have got minus 12, and another year 7 or 8%. So xirr is over the compounding, so it's a very clear. And make sure whenever you have equity mutual funds, look only for 7 years. Any person comes to me, I will tell that. But as the market goes, so that is the beauty of market fall, because I always say the older people normally without normal writing only they will start investing because they have seen when you fall and you get it. It's a simple way of I keep telling because I have a lot of women investors. When the gold is down, they says, okay, why not I buy a gold? Why? Because you will get more number of grams. The same thing, it works in equity also. You get a number of more stocks or number of more units. That is what it is supposed to be. But we are not able to relate that part of it. We are able to relate either in real estate or a gold, but not in the market because that is what we see every day in our mobile, in the all the media or the social reels and other things. Nobody is talking to you, okay, where you are staying in your real estate is also going down or it is what is going to happen. So start thinking what is the creation, but there is no doubt about it. Always equity gives a very good returns, and that give the multiple fold. It's you may think of like a if I'm giving a 15% returns, indirectly you are getting 5 or 5.5 years doubling the money. And but if you start thinking about that, okay, if I somebody asked me, see, why don't you see that Jinjanwala has done so well and other people are not? And I keep asking, do you think you have kept any of the stocks for 30 years? We keep thinking of different parts and try to do whatever people have done. So it's not that people are not aware of. I always feel it is an execution, it is an action, it's in a behavior. That makes the wealth, it's not the product. Even the worst product, I can bet you have kept for 20 years, your money will be much bigger than that you have exit enter with all the tax CG and all the stuff versus that. So it's not that we should not look at the funds, but how long you're keeping is very important part of it. So whenever you are doing a PMS, you are doing mutual fund, you are doing anything, start thinking a different perspective that what you are looking for. You are looking as a little bit of high risk, longer tenure, liquidity is required, very high compliance is there, taxation is there. How are the things which you are looking? That is going to make a difference. But please make sure first you have an SIP, have around a 1 CR of portfolio, then you enter for the alternative. I keep telling people, otherwise it is very tough. Your liquidity came into issues. For example, in a PMS, I can tell you minimum is 50 lakhs. Even if you want a 5 lakhs to withdraw, you are not able to withdraw because compliance doesn't allow all those things. So do always think twice before you enter the funds house for anything. Any investment you do, it can be PF, PPF, NPS, bonds, mutual fund, PMS, link it to the goal, make the cash flow accordingly, and do it. So somebody came and asked me, Rachna, I have done it through AIF, AI. I'm able to do it. Then why people are required? So I said that's a perfect thing. So most of the time, I always says you have to start looking what value you are getting, not a price. So I said. I get every day my reels are only two type of reels that because I love plants and trees and other things. So I get keep how to take care and what to get or how to buy. And another one is because I am obese, so how to reduce weight. But you tell me how many times I'm able to do that because I'm getting a reels and I know what to do. It is required somebody to handhold, and maybe last 1 year I've been trying and which I'm feeling very happy, of course, Okay, I have taken a personal trainer who tells me what to do, how to do it, make sure if I'm feeling lazy to make sure to do it. So you need somebody to have manage your behavior. It's manage your execution. It's very, very important to take care of that part of it. So wealth maximization is always there in everybody's minds. So a lot of time people comes and ask me, Rachna, I wanted a returns, but I don't want to take a risk. Okay. So it is like I always says that you want east and west. We have to understand what wealth I can create for what time of it. Like if you wanted a PPF, EPF, NPS, keep it for the very clearly taking care on the goal side, which is retirement. But after that, how is taking care of your goals on a wealth side? Because that is giving me only 8% return or 7.1% returns. When I'm keeping the same fund for 15 years, which data says you will get around 14 to 15% returns. So you have to decide how much you should have a debt and how much you should have an equity. Always make sure 100 minus your age should be taking care of your equity part of it. And that debt, when you're using a debt, you please add your gold, not a jewelry, but if you have a gold ETFs or gold coins, and a real estate which is not self-occupied, your PF, PPF. Because when I've started seeing that, no, doing the debt and equity ratio, they don't take it, which is out of your portfolio, which is seen. But you should take care of that part of it and have a good asset allocation. Compounding always come over time. It's very easy in Excel, very easy to explain, very difficult to manage your behavior. You have to start thinking how, like yesterday, somebody sent me a 17 LIC policies to take care. And I was telling, and that person has actually, as of today, is 92 years old, whom I met now. And I was telling, my God, somebody is given at 90 also than LIC. And I was just thinking it's how to do. I can't say anything, but how I'm trying to help them. So most of the time, you should know what data and the product you should need in a what age. What is the liquidity? More than market, I feel liquidity issue is more important. So you should make sure your portfolio is not more than 50% in illiquid. So many customers, client comes, they have PF, LIC in real estate. Now I don't know what to do because their kids they are not able to go, they have to take a loan and loan is not coming now recently, they're not able to send it across. So that is a very, very important part when you are looking for creating wealth linked to the goal. Make sure that you are able to do a periodic or required withdrawals whenever is required to suitable your lifestyle. Define the milestones, very important part of it. You can decide what milestones. So normally I always say we will have a cash flow. So when we have a cash flow, people will just see first or second time. And I said, no, for us it is a yearly work. So if these are the goals are coming, how we have to take care of your milestone. The milestone is talking about risk, milestone is talking about liquidity. You can't say, okay, my war has come, the market is down, so now my kid cannot go for the education or I can't retire. It is not okay. But you have to define what are the things which I can manage for each milestone, and each milestone comes before 1 or 2 years before you should move it to the hybrid funds and the debt funds to make sure that irrespective of whatever market condition, you are able to take care of it. So, how PMS people have been doing, as I told you, is a life goals, which is like a mutual funds also. Make sure you are locking. Even though as of today, we have got in insurance, we have got in a bond, we have got it in a now mutual fund last month lock in, but we have not got it in a PMS. But recently, people have started coming with this that I wanted this next 10 years. Rachna, don't ask me anything. After 10 years, I will be taking care of it, or I'll be taking care of my kid is 18 years, or you keep it this when I'm getting retired to you take care of a different debt equity over the period of an age and do it across. So start looking what is the reason you are going for an investment. Is a growth phase or consolidated phase? Your what is a horizon and a payout phase you are looking across, because that is going to define it. And this is 100% give you peace of mind, I can tell you, because I have done it one time. I don't have to think. After 18 years only, I will look at across when the kid is 18. And this is for me also when I start writing a will, that is, you will surprised to know last few 2.5 years, I have got almost all the customers to put it into the everything under the PMS. I said, why you want? Because Rachna, all kids have gone abroad. And I have told them that I have written a will go to you. And one demat account will take care of all the financial assets. So that is becoming a next thing which I've never thought of, that people started using one consolidated functionality, because in a PMS account you can have a bonds, you can have mutual funds, you can have as of course strategy stocks and other things, ESOPs. So that is the one more things to how to do a transition is another way we are been handling quite a lot now. A lot of time people have started which was very difficult previously. Now people comes and ask me, okay, can you help me into writing a will and a well smooth transition. That is becoming another things which is been telling across this. So these are the few real examples I wanted to give you, which is a real customers who has come across and saying that, okay, my daughter is 8 years old and take the 75 lakhs, which will take care of her marriage and education when she is 18. And that is what it has been happening. They have put it across into two part of it. Whenever it is done, and I can tell you, it is giving not only the better returns, we normally do the cash flow around 12 to 14%, but it is given much, much more higher also. And that is taken care of, or their one part of the education instead of SIP. Because some people, when we started, we focused a lot of SIP, but nowadays a lot of people are on a business, startups, and other things. So they said, when I have the one time money, I'll give it to you instead of having an SIP. Retirement planning is becoming the all time. So for me, last 3 to 5 years, I'm just actually doing only retirement planning of because our all friends, family are in 50s, and this is okay. God grace, we all have a good PF and PS, EPF kind of it, and just make sure that 2 lakhs comes as every month. And as the distribution phase started, so if they are saying, "Ki, I'll do the consulting till maybe 50, 55, or sometimes 60, you put it in a hybrid funds. Then we started having a payout funds where we make it as a moderate risk. This is the another things I'm sure all of you must have noticed recently. SEBI is becoming much strict, and they are using to give a notice and remove all those SWP reels quite a lot. The reels must have started coming very less because they have deleted all the reels and have blocked the accounts, because that was very common. And somebody said, why don't I do SWP at 12% and 15% returns? I said, there's nothing wrong, but when the market is low, you may erode the principal. That's one concept people are not trying to tell, because talking in Excel, it's very, very easy, but in a reality, sometimes it goes different. So people accumulate when you are actually working. Then you go into the moderate, and as you go above 70, you can become a equity only 30 and 70% part of it. So when we are doing what you call retirement funds, that is another things which I have noticed very recently. Somebody told, and I didn't realize it. Most of the time when we do a retirement fund, we take care of inflation link, take care of the tax we'll pay from there. We will take, because you are not able to do that, doing a payout as per the interest perspective. So somebody said, but we are protecting your principal over the period. Then one person says, we used to do stepwise, we used to reduce the inflation. There are different ways to take a cash flow till 85, 90. One person came and told me, why don't you make a terminal value zero? Why I should give it to my kids when I'm dead? And that's another aspect for it. Of course, we can have a different view, which normally we don't do it. But yes, that is also allowed. We try to say the people, if you want, we can erode the principal. With terminal value means if you are giving a 1 crore and 6% is a normal rule for the giving a retirement funds. So somebody will start getting 50K per month, which is inflation linked till 85. And then you will still get a 1 crore. So now if you don't want a 1 crore, you can start eroding the principal. So these are the funds where, of course, for me, alliance is always very close to the heart, because most of the people are only on. I can say you that 100%, even 50 crore is in a one fund, because that takes care of. all the three phases of your life. The time when you are actually not at retire, but retiral funds has come, or you wanted to park there, so it is aggressive 70/30. Then you start doing a payout, which is 50/50, and then you will start moving across to 30/70 within the three variant, and it will take care of your capital. So this is very common use that you pay for the few years and then start your paying out. So which we say is that which is inflation linked, tax benefit, tax efficient, and it is taking care of a capital which is very very flexible. And most of the people they do that. So another thing is how you are moving from accumulation to transition and a distribution, and then it goes to the succession also after your part of it. What is investor must do it? Always try to see compounding effect for the long term. Make sure that you are balancing your debt and equity, your regular income plans. That's another thing. Somebody asked me why I can't have the two houses and all. I always say there is nothing wrong, but house appreciation comes only when you do. Otherwise, the rental yield is only 2 to 3%. So and in case if you are taking on the loans, it is much, much more worse. So as we growing, as the kids are becoming global, people are not staying. I always feel make sure your liquidity is much, much better than anything else. Impact of withdrawal, this is the real customers again, where you will see that how it is able to do it without withdrawal and with withdrawal part of it. And again, the capital has been growing over the period. So this is wealth creation is done anytime on equity. Depending on you, you take it as a one time or you take it as a SIPs. That's the one thing. Only the duration of your fund actually gives you the wealth. It is not. So you have to start looking whenever you are investing, is that you are investing in a money tree where we used to say, no, when you are in a kid, we will say that, okay, you put the seed, you put the water, manure, and then over the period it comes. So we have it in our house, butterfruit, and it took 11 years to start giving across. So I'm saying when it start giving every year, it gives. So are we keeping, when we are having a mindset to keep PF or PPF for, let us say, 55 years till we are retiring, we are having the EPF, PPF of 15 years, then you do in 5 years. Most of the LIC is 15 years. We are looking on 10, 15 years for the products which is giving guaranteed 6%, 6.5%, 7%, but which is giving us a 12, 14%, we are not looking. So it is a mindset we have to do. Why don't we do the same thing? Okay, this next 10 years I will not touch, which will take care of my retirement. And that's the way you should start looking across the goal over it part of it. Whenever you choose any PMS, to how to choose the right PMS is normally choose what is your primary goal you are looking. Is it you are looking only income, you are looking as a wealth or the we call appreciation. Last few person started saying that this money is only for my charity and this is for my vacation. So now I have a few customers who are PMS only for a charity, and that's a very nice. This Rachna, it's only for my five servants whom I am keeping it. It's written in the charity in my will also. Whatever money comes, this thing has to go there. And it's a very nice feeling sometimes that people have started looking at that angle also. Then they have it a regular income only for the vacation or for a retirement, or you're just doing for a succession. So you have to decide what you are looking for. Very, very important. And accordingly, you should choose the type of PMS. If you are using for a person which is giving us a growth, you take full 100% equity kind of it and continue for some time. And don't do less than 5 to 7 years. I'm telling you because the calls are long and that's where it comes across. So this overall summarization is define your goals, define the timeline, define the payments and the distribution part of it. Do your check. Nowadays you have a best of AI, you can choose what is good for you. Normally to see who can be approachable. So I don't wanted to name somebody, and somebody came around 6 crore from another PMS house, and any PMS house I always says please give them, not mine, anybody give the time. They said no Rachna, because when there is nobody to speak with other than the product, They are not even bothered about to listen what is my goal. So I said yes, because you have taken as a product. You never attach product to the goals, and that's the reason it is all about. So you have to know that whom you are very comfortable with, who can you can speak about that, not only the product, but about this product is linked to which goal, and how this goal will be able to achieve, how they will be able to take care of a withdrawal, how you will review and rebalance in case if it is required. That is very, very important. With this, I happy to take any questions. Thank you.